Runway 24 left, contact ground point 65. Southwest 3118, LA Tower, Romeo cross runway 24 left, hold short runway 24 right.
At Romeo, clear to cross 24 left, hold short 24 right, Southwest 3118.
Night 1224, wind 22010, RNF Fabra, runway 24 right, clear for takeoff.
RNF Fabra, 24 right, clear for takeoff, United 1224.
Contact so out departure.
1224, call.
Are we live? OMG. I got no jockey cam, I got no behind the scenes here today. But I do have plane spotter paradise. We're back in paradise, baby. I'll explain why here in a second. All right, we do have a Japan Dreamliner up next.
Heavy turn left enable, cross runway 24 left, contact ground point 65.
Just readjusting some things here. Hold on one second, you guys.
West 3118 at the shoreline, turn right heading 271, wind 240 at 11, runway 24 right, clear takeoff.
At the shoreline, turn right heading 241, it's 271, runway 24 right, clear for takeoff, Southwest 3118.
Hotel Sierra, leaving LA Bravo Airspace to north. Frequency change approved.
All right, let me catch my breath here. I walked all the way here, climbed up the hill, successful. Don't worry about me. I'm just fine.
Southwest 3118, turn right heading 271. Turn right heading 271, Southwest 3118, thank you. Okay, 134.5 for traffic, 5 mile final, runway 24 right, and wait.
Runway 24 right, land boy, schedule 34 Foxtrot.
obviously it's been a while since I've been here. Last summer.
Alpha 1836, unless unable, crossing 2 for left, contact down for the first time. Cal 1386, crossing at 2 for left.
So what's going on? What is going on is that 24 left is closed down until about 6 o'clock tonight, which means we got all takeoffs and arrivals here on the north side happening on 24 right.
Heavy LA Tower, Cosmic Turbos, preceded by a heavy Dreamliner, 12410, runway 24 right, for the wind.
It's good to be back here. It's a nice day out. Of course, I had a mazillion, yes, a mazillion things to do today, but I was watching the 24-hour live cams, and I said, here's your chance, Kevin. Here's your chance. Don't blow it. Get off that sofa, stop working, pick up that camera, take a walk, and go get some planes, and that's what we're here doing. Another Dreamliner next up for arrival on 24 right. Dreamliner. New Singapore, the 777-300ER heading here to the north side. So again, if you just tuned in, hello, I'm live here on the north side for a little pop-up stream here today. Didn't wake up this morning thinking that I was going to do this, but the opportunity to have takeoffs once again on runway 24 right. You know, we loved that all last summer, so I had to get out here today, right? So spread the word. Make sure to hit that like button, share the stream, let everyone know Kevin's back at Planespotter Paradise, the site of holy moly. I'm actually wearing my holy moly shirt here today. Of course, I don't have behind the scenes. I don't have behind the scenes or jockey cam here today. A little simple setup. I needed it to be a little bit as simple as I could. All right, our next arrival is Singapore Airline Flight 12, coming in from Tokyo Narita, 777-300ER. All right, are we all doing good here today? All right, how about more planes? It's funny, Planespotters Paradise is just how I left it. The smells are the same. The flowers are the same. We spent a lot of time here last spring and summer. All right, this is Singapore, the 777-300ER coming in from Tokyo Narita. Next arrival here on the north side at 24 right. Now this is a spot A lot of you guys have been asking for, Kevin, can you go back to Plane Spotted Paradise? And I've been telling you, yes, eventually we'll get out there. Now, we were all spoiled last spring and summer because 24 left was closed down for a very long time, if you guys remember that, which meant all the departures and arrivals were happening on one runway, which was 24 right. There's been a few times where it's popped up where 24 left has been closed down, and I didn't have the ability to get out here. But today is the day. Today is the day we make it back to Plane Spotter Paradise. Now, I'm not going to guarantee we're going to be coming out here too often, but if 24 left is closed down for a good chunk of the day, then for sure, no doubt, we'll make our way back here to Plane Spotter's Paradise.
27 traffic, 2 miles north, you're maneuvering 1,200 out, indicated pass them up.
All right, I'm just getting situated here. Thanks everyone tuning in. You're looking at a Delta 767-400ER. Should be heading over here. Just give me 1 second here while we have a little time in between arrivals and departures. Christopher Brown with a super chat. Thank you so much, Christopher. Says, let's see the Singapore 777-300ER from PSP. Well, it just arrived from NRT. Good to see you, Christopher. Thank you. Network with the jaw-dropping emoji. It is jaw-dropping, isn't it? All right, our next arrival. Not a heavy. We'll take anything we can get. Hopefully we'll head over here to 24 right. We love the sounds of the 767s up close. Friend Janice with the $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Janice. Says, hello, Kevin and AVL. Hello, Janice. Good to see you. CKW. The super chat says, Jockey Kevin at Paradise. You got that right. I'm back in Paradise. It's a beautiful day. A little cooler than it was yesterday. At least I think. Maybe because I'm not 12 stories up on a patio deck. Going slightly mad with the $2 super chat. Good to see you. Enjoy the show. Katie, the $5 super chat. Thanks so much, Katie. Says, yay, AVL on a Saturday. I've given you shows Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and tomorrow. What am I doing? Jeff, becoming a silver member. Thank you so much, Jeff. And Dustin Jackson with the $5 super chat. Thanks so much, Dustin. Says, love the spot, Kevin. Thanks for the pop-up stream. My pleasure. Now, this is why it's important to have your notifications all set, because you never know when I'm going to pop up here. All right, we got the Delta 767 now moving. Legend Jane with the $550 super chat. Oh, looks like it's getting to the north, at the south. Jane, thank you so much. $550 super chat through PayPal. Says, thank you for streaming today. My pleasure, Jane. Thank you so much for your amazing support. All right, so 767 heading to the south side. We did start with the United 757 at 300, which is always wonderful to see.
Traffic, a mile and a half east view, maneuvering up to 1,200 knots.
It looks like we have a corporate jet up next for arrival here. It's so quiet and the traffic's not around. Delta 767 flight was heading to Atlanta, so I'm not surprised that it's heading to the south side. Let's see here. Yes, heading to Atlanta, flight 446. Next arrival is an E-Jet, Delta Connection SkyWest flight 3762, coming in from San Jose, California. It's an E175.
Executive 947, thanks for your help. Contact ground point 65, let them know where you're parked.
A Frontier A321, possibly a Neo pushing back. That should be heading up here to the north side. Next arrival is Southwest Airlines. Let me turn this down a little bit. Southwest Airlines, well, this traffic's loud here today. Southwest Airlines flight 4503 coming in from San Jose, California, 737-800. We do have Delta Airlines flight 773 coming up from JFK, a 767-300 ER, just 12 minutes out. Looks like we have an Aloha Air Cargo. This is interesting. Coming up from Honolulu, flight 8202. Looking like it's heading to the north side. Kind of shocked by that with the closure here on the north side, that they would push a cargo up here with only one runway, but we'll see what happens here. Matthew Ruiz with the $5 super chat. Thanks so much, Matthew. So say hi to Rudy for me. I've missed out with him. He's not here today. He's enjoying a weekend with his family. They're actually heading out to Catalina Island, taking the ferry out there. I shouldn't say the ferry, it's the boat. Also an Aeromexico Dreamliner. This flight will be heading back to Mexico City. We'll see if that heads up here for a north side takeoff on 24 right. Yeah, Joe, you make a good point there. There's a lot going on in the world, and I'm not even paying attention. What is the point? I've been through enough in the last 30 years when it comes to politics and all this stuff. It doesn't matter. Runs its course and we move on, right? So let's all just sit back, get away from the crazy world and enjoy some planes up close, I might add, up close and loud, the way we like it here on AVL. So if you guys are just tuning in, the reason why I'm live here today is the 24 left here on the north side, which is usually used for departures, is closed down until 6 o'clock. They're doing some maintenance since this morning, which means all arrivals and departures are now happening on 24 right, which is closest to where we are here at PlaneSpotters Paradise. So I couldn't pass up the chance to be here today. Of course, there's no jockey cam, there's no behind the scenes. I wanted to make this as simple as a setup as I could. I'm actually using the old camera, the old Panasonic camera that I used on Thursday as well. So it might look a little bit different. Maybe it looks better, maybe it looks worse. But I do miss the functionality of this camera. Stabilization is excellent in this camera. It was never a good camera for low lights, nighttime. The zoom range isn't as good as our Sony camera. So that's why we moved over to the Sonys. But I do miss this little Panasonic camera. We really had a good time with these little cameras for many years. In fact, I have a thought about using it tomorrow for the Sunday show, but then I was like, no, your zoom range is going to be limited. You may have to zoom in really tight on something, and you just can't. So anyway, here we are. Second pop-up stream of the week using the old Panasonic camera. Another E-Jet next arrival.
Is that 555, you ready?
We're ready here, Canada 555.
Canada 555, traffic 6 miles final, only 24 right, line up and wait.
24 right,
All right, got an Air Canada A320. Heading over here to 24 right. Oh, by the way, I got my model from MTS Aviation Models, our sponsor from last Sunday. I got my little Continental in-flight 1 in 200 scale. I gotta tell you, I'm in love with the in-flight models. Really, really nice. I'm loving it.
Canada 555 on 24011 on the Bravo, runway 24 right, clear takeoff.
24 right and now Bravo, first takeoff, Canada 555.
318, traffic half mile.
Doing a little turn and burn here.
1,400. Medevac 3 Alpha Kilo, traffic. Kyle Northwest, you're maneuvering on speed 1,400.
Looks like the Aeromexico has decided to also head to the north. Come on, guys, you can take off. You can have heavies take off on 24 right. We've seen it before. Even the Queen taken off here multiple times. Looks like the Frontier flight also heading to the south side. Don't be afraid. Next arrival is a flight coming in from Portland, Delta Airlines flight 2975. It's an A319 Old Northwest bird delivered to Northwest Airlines in November of 2000. Will be followed by Delta flight 773 coming in from JFK and a 767-300ER. Still have that Aloha Air Cargo coming in from Honolulu, the converted 767-300ER, just 9 minutes out. Now looking like it might fly directly over LAX instead of landing here on the north side. We'll keep an eye on it. So this is the side of Terminal 1 for Southwest. It seems that they use most as we saw from the H Hotel yesterday, not really utilizing the east side of Terminal 1. That more than likely will be the side, this side over here, where they'll put JetBlue. It's the flight coming in from Portland, this A319. We do have a United 737 heading up here to the north side. It's funny, like everything that's on the north is heading to the south, and anything on the south is heading to the north. Oh well, we'll take whatever we can, right? All right, up next we have that Delta 767 flight coming in from JFK. That's what we're hearing. We're hearing that LAWA for temporarily. So Terminal 5, which is one of the older terminals that has not been redone in many years, is going to be completely torn down. They're going to completely rebuild Terminal 5. So they're going to relocate Spirit and JetBlue. It sounds like JetBlue is going to use some of the space at Terminal 1 with Southwest. Not quite sure where Spirit will be heading to. Now it's so quiet. Going slightly mad. Back with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. This is my son and daughter-in-law are flying back from Anchorage after an Alaskan cruise, and they're flying on Hawaiian to Vancouver and then Ontario. Boy, oh boy. Are they flying in today? SWAT Cats with an awesome $20 super chat. Thank you so much, SWAT Cats. It's happy birthday to the United States Army, and it's Flag Day. That's right, the big parade going on in Washington, 250 years. Thank you, SWAT Cats. Joni, with the $3 super chat. Good to see you, Joni. Hope all is going well. Misopinionated with the $2 super chat says, hi, Kevin. Hi, Misopinionated. How are you? Christopher Brown back with the $2 super chat. Thanks so much, Christopher. Says, what was the crazy loud plane yesterday? The 737-900. Oh yeah, those 737-900ERs with United. I'm sorry, not United. With Delta. Boy, they're loud. We'll probably hear a few of them here. All right, up next, Delta 767-300ER. It's coming in from JFK. Next arrival. That Delta 767-400ER heading to Atlanta, taking off there on the south side. All right, we got a little baby United. It's like an A319. I think it's an A320 heading now over to 24 right. Let's see. I'm curious. Is this an A319 or A320? It looked like an A319 to me, but we don't see too many A319s here at LAX. It is an A319. Wow. This is kind of a rare bird we don't see here at LAX. United Airlines Flight 2279, flight heading to Seattle. We'll hold because our next arrival on the 24 right is American Eagle SkyWest Flight 6262 coming up from SFO E175. Looks like that Aloha Air Cargo is indeed heading here to the north side. Well, hello, little A319. We don't see too many of you here at LAX, at least with United. Again, this flight heading to Seattle, it is indeed an Airbus A319.
United 2279, wind 2209 on its Fabra, only 24 right, so straight up.
Okay, runway 24 right, 95, clear for takeoff, United 2279.
So they're still continue to do work there on the 24 left. Should reopen about 6 p.m. at this evening local time. I was talking to Allison this morning. I said I would have taken 24 left being closed down for a Sunday show because that would mean that the A380s are taking off on the south side. The Queens, you never know. And by the way, Korean Air Flight 18 will be heading back to Seoul. Is a Queen. It is not an A380 here today, so not 100% guaranteed that Korean Air will utilize the south side. Is that Aloha Air Cargo 767 coming in from Honolulu. It's definitely a aircraft you normally don't see here on the north side, especially on a day when they're only down to one runway here on the north side. Of course, this aircraft will head to the south side of LAX. Will now have to cross over. Well, it closed down 24 left, but 25 right and 25 left as well. This flight heading to Seattle, Alaska Horizon Flight 2035, E175. Gosh, it gets so quiet when there's no cars, no planes. We like the loud sounds. Give me 1 second here. Let me look up what's coming up next. Next arrival is Frontier Rosa, the pink-headed Warbler livery, flight 3308, coming up from SFO. It's an A321 Neo. Looks like we have Air France flight 22 coming up from Paris, a 777 at 300 ER, just 9 minutes out, looking like a north side arrival. ITA flight 620 coming up from Rome, an A350-900, 16 minutes away. Austrian flight 81 coming in from Vienna on a 777 at 200 ER, just 21 minutes away. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot more heavy arrivals here on the north side, as the Asiana A380 will be heading to the south side, which will kind of clog up the south side for a little bit. Of course, they got to get the A380 across Lima. They're not opening 24 left, are they? Allison, are they opening 24 left? I don't think there's any Stearmans expected here today. At least I didn't expect the one yesterday either. Reed 172 with a $10 super check. Good to see you, Reed. This is why I love AVL. Kevin pays attention to the airport variables and brings us a cool pop-up stream. Thank you. Well, my pleasure, Reed. I've always got an eye on this airport. Of course, you know, we have two 24-hour, 7 days a week live cameras keeping an eye on the airport as well. So trust me, I got an eye. I know what's going on here. You can trust me. Thank you, Reed. Misopinionated back with the $2 super chat. This is Reagan National is closing tonight for the military parade. That's probably a smart idea. All right, as we wait for more action here on the north side. It is a beautiful day out here. Not as warm as it was yesterday. Of course, where I'm standing, there's always a nice cool breeze coming off the ocean directly here at Plane Spotter Paradise. One of the reasons why it's called Paradise. Coming up here to the north side. Thanks you guys for tuning in here today. I'm your plane jockey, Kevin. We're here at a place called Plane Spotters Paradise. At least that's what I called it. Have another Alaska E-Jets heading up here for a north side takeoff. Yes, don't worry, the big Sunday show is still on for tomorrow. Yes, I'm working a little extra harder this week. Of course, Rudy's not with me tomorrow either. I'll make sure to somewhat take it easy before our big 24-hour live broadcast, which is next Friday.
Horizon 2279, you ready?
We're ready, right? 2279.
2279, runway 24 right, line of the way.
24 right, line of the way, right? 2279.
All right, Alaska Horizon E-Jet up next for takeoff here on the door side, 24 right.
Horizon 2279, 12309, on that Pablo, runway 24 right, let's take off.
On that Pablo, 24 right, clear takeoff.
Southwest 408, short of Romeo.
Wouldn't that be amazing if I was here at Plane Spotters Paradise yesterday for that Boeing Stearman? We got a Southwest flight heading over to 24 right, the flight heading to Phoenix, 737-700. Next arrival is Air France flight 22 coming in from Paris, 777-300ER. This flight to Phoenix will hold short as the 777 now in short funnel for 24 right. Yes, full throttle, Kathy. Thank goodness for notifications. Couldn't stand to miss PSP. Plane Spotters Paradise. Second pop-up stream of the week here. All right, Air France Flight 22 coming in from Paris, a 777 at 300 ER. Next arrival here on the north side of LAX on runway 24 right. Plane Spotter Paradise, home of the loud sounds. All right, we should be seeing the Southwest 737-700 heading up to 24 right. We'll be heading to Phoenix, Arizona. Yeah, planes in France, back with the Panasonic little camcorder. I do miss this little thing. I just wish it was better in other conditions like low lights. It's just horrible in low light, but we're not planning to be out here in low light, so I said, you know what, take the little panny out, give it a little run. All right, the Green Air Queen taking off there on the south side, 25 left. You know, you could have taken off on 24 right, you know. No one wants to try it here today, huh? That's right. We'll have plenty of action here on the north side as we get most of the arrivals, certainly the A380s and the Queens as well. Christopher Brown, back with the $5 Super Chat. Thanks so much, Christopher. Says, flying my first domestic wide-body Delta A330-200 from San Diego to Atlanta, and I may just indulge in Delta 1. Thanks for the pop-up. Great advantage point. We'll have a great flight there. Should be a great flight. You remember the A330-200s with Delta are old Northwest planes. Those A330s, the 200s, the 300s, originally delivered to Northwest Airlines. So have a great flight. I'm sure it'll be great. Allison N, one of our great mods, gifting 1 Airline Videos Live membership. Thank you so much, Allison.
That's all aircraft. It is information Bravo, South Carolina, 2994.
So we've got another arrival before that flight heads out to Phoenix. This is almost like being airside at Ontario. I think we're about the same distance.
408, 123.010, runway 24 right on that Pablo. So straight up on that Pablo, 24 right, let's pick up, that's 408.
into the Valley of the Sun, a very hot Valley of the Sun. Looks like Austrian heading to the south side. Our next arrival is Alaska Horizon coming in from SFO, flight 2147. Virgin Atlantic Flight 7 coming in from London Heathrow, the A350 1000 just 14 minutes out. The Lufthansa Queen Flight 456 coming in from Frankfurt on the 747-8 Intercontinental 16 minutes away. Guaranteed north side arrival for the Lufthansa Queen. This exact spot before Airline Videos Live came to be. I would spend my whole day here. Bring a chair, bring my lunch, tripod, camera, that's all I needed, some extra batteries. Didn't have all this audio mixer and all these other things that you now need when you go live. And I would just sit here all day long, grabbing my video, my 4K video. And I enjoyed it so much. Those were my days off when I was working full-time at the TV station. This was my escape. If it wasn't Imperial Hill, it was here at PlaneSpotters Paradise. Looks like we have some more flights coming up here to the north side for takeoff. Today I've got the light gear, the Panasonic camera, which weighs, I don't know, a pound, as opposed to the Sony, the Sigma lens, that 60 to 600 millimeter lens. That thing is heavy. That thing is heavy. That's why I have a problem getting that case into the overhead, because that thing is at least 30 pounds. Of course, I have a bad arm, and that's why I can't get it over there. But it'd be much easier for Kevin to go traveling with this little Panasonic camcorder, which weighs about a pound, as opposed to 30 pounds. I really wish that Sony or Panasonic come out with a small little camcorder like this with the sensor and the ability to really do some good nighttime action. Will it ever happen? We'll see. Next arrival is a flight coming in from Seattle, Delta Airlines flight 2769 to 737-800. Like Virgin heading to the south side. We will get the Lufthansa Queen up here on the north side. Hopefully you guys are all having a great weekend so far. It is Saturday, it's not Sunday. We'll be back tomorrow, Sunday, for the big Sunday show, back on the south side. Flight coming up from Seattle, Delta 737. side as long as it doesn't make a left-hand turn right here, which it looks like it's doing. All right. It may not be a day for heavy departures. We got a ton of heavy arrivals. Heading to the south. Lots of United Express flights heading up here from north side and takeoffs. Heading to SFO, United Airlines flight 1225, 737-900 ER. Off to SFO. We got another United Express E-Jet going to be taken off. We do have another arrival. Then arrival is coming in from Portland, Alaska Airlines flight 1143, 737-900 ER. readjust some of my microphones here. That's why you're not hearing the touchdown. One of the microphones decided to start looking the opposite direction. All right, I think we're good now.
Guys, 5370, contact departure.
This Southwest flight heading to Oakland. Southwest Airlines flight 4459, 737 at 700 will hold short as our next arrival is Frontier North, the Harp Seal livery coming up from Houston, Texas, flight 1775. It's an A320 Neo. Followed by the Lufthansa Queen, flight 456 coming up from Frankfurt, the 747-8 Intercontinental, number 2 for arrival. Back, the Plane Spotter Paradise, Holy Moly Boulevard.
Heavy LA Tower, Boeing 737 will hold a position, wind 230 at 13, runway 24 right for the land. That's good. 4459, pass over the marker, runway 24 right on the wing. On the way, 24 right, that's the 4 reason. 7 up hotel, leaving out of our space on time, keep it rolling, left turn across the
The Lufthansa Queen up next for arrival.
4459, contact departure.
It's like 456 coming in from Frankfurt. It was a day like today. I'm joking.
Cleared the land.
See that last little flare at the end? Did you guys see that? is 737 at max 8, followed by Southwest Airlines flight 2787 coming in from SFO at a 737-700, followed by Allegiant flight 773 coming in from Omaha, Nebraska on an A320.
2787 LA charge, 0.737, 2 mile final time to hold in position, Embraer jet, runway 24 right side of land. Chassis 401 LA charge, cross runway 24 left to Romeo, hold short runway 24 right.
Cross 24 left to cross 24 left to Romeo, hold short 24 right, Chassis 401.
It's the Air Canada Jets. Next up for arrival here on the north side, 24 right. Thanks you guys for tuning in here today for this pop-up stream. Make sure to hit that like button. And no, there is no Nighthawk here tonight. You guys and your Nighthawk. This flight heading to Reading, United Express, SkyWest flight 5401 at E175. Next arrival is that Southwest flight coming up from SFO, a 737-700 flight 2787.
Allegiant 773, LA try reduce your slowest traffic hold position at Embraer jet, wind 23012, runway 24 right to the land.
No, I'm not using the Starlink, Lynn. I wasn't even going to deal with Starlink today. I knew what I had one mission to come out here, not to test anything. Just get the opportunity to get the great up-close action and awesome sounds.
Traffic 401 traffic on a 4 mile final runway 24 right out of the way, be ready to go.
Making its way over there to Tom Bradley. Oh, Ryan, thank you. Next year, like early next year? I'm talking like a year out.
Go 5401 on that Pablo, runway 24 right, clear for takeoff. On that Pablo, 24 right, clear for takeoff, go 5401, 2787, contact ground, 0.65, cross, yeah.
Sunshine. Oh, no earlier than 2026. All right. Well, I got to hold on to the satellite. I could postpone the service for a while instead of paying the $165 a month. I might have to just do that. All right, this is the Allegiant flight coming in from Omaha, Nebraska. Omaha, Nebraska. That is not a daily flight, by the way. If you live in Omaha, a lot of the Allegiant flights are not daily flights. Judd with a $10 super chat. Thanks so much, Judd. Says, I am only staying with the channel from the LAX area. It is the best one. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate the kind words there, John. Soy Aaron with the super chat. Thanks so much. Soy Aaron says, hi from Guadalajara. Kevin, is that the spot that you thought you were getting arrested a couple of years ago? Yeah, that's that spot too. A lot has happened here at Plane Spotters Paradise.
Goes 4911 LA Tower, 1220 at 12, runway 24 right, clear to land. Clear to land, goes 4911.
Oh, look at this. We actually have a United Dreamliner heading up here for a north side takeoff. It's funny, like everything you would think that should stay here on the north side, that is from the north side, heads to the south side. Anything from the south side seems to be coming here to the north side, including a lot of United flights. Of course, that has to do with flow and whatnot. Dreamliner taking off there on the south side. Seen a lot more of the American 787 and 9 Dreamliners here at LAX.
A198 Heavy LA Tower at Romeo cross runway 24 left, hold runway 24 right. Romeo cross 24 left, hold short 24 right, United 198. For 7 Alpha Hotel traffic, 1 o'clock west, 7 mile west, 1,700. Heavy Boeing 787 for this traffic.
So back in the day when I used to plane spot here at Plane Spotter Paradise, you could see the theme building. You can see the top of it. That was clear as day before they built Terminal 1.5. Used to be a great shot. Got that United 787.
freeze left at Victor, cross runway 24 left.
Did you like that? Okay, good, because we have another Dreamliner heading up here for a north side takeoff. That would be Japan Airlines. That United Dreamliner heading to Shanghai, a 787-9 Dreamliner, flight 198. Japan Airlines flying to Tokyo Narita, flight 61, a 787-9 Dreamliner on its way up here for a north side takeoff. Keeping cool out here. There's a nice cool breeze coming off the ocean. I don't know why it is, but it always happens here at Planespotters Paradise. Next arrival is WestJet flight 1696, coming in from Vancouver on a 737 at MAX 8. We're followed by Frontier, Sunny, the Colored Lizard Livery, flight 2176, coming in from Seattle, and an A320 Neo. Again, this Japan Airlines 787-9 Dreamliner heading to Tokyo Narita will now head over here to 24 left. I'm sorry, 24 right.
Wind 240 at 13, runway 24 right to the land.
all having fun. We all enjoying. Oh, we got a United 757-300 heading up here for north side takeoff. You like it nice and loud? Just wait. You can hear it in the background.
United 1431 with you. Short of Romeo.
United 1431 LHR, runway 24 left is closed at Romeo, cross runway 24 left and hold short of runway 24 right as able.
Alright, cross 24 right at Romeo, hold short of 24, cross 24 left, hold short of 24 right at Romeo, United 1431.
What we started our broadcast with here today, United 757-300. That 757, number 2 for takeoff.
United 1431, runway 24 right, line up on way, cross runway 061 Heavy, contact departure. 1255,
Honolulu flight 1431, a 23-year-old 757-300 with United.
Delta 22, 67, 3 miles, going to be a couple minutes early. Delta 22. United 1431 on that Pablo, runway 24 right, clear for takeoff, cross runway 71.
On that Pablo, clear for takeoff, runway 24 right, United 1431.
RB211s, yes, nothing like it. Christopher Brown back with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Christopher. Since I got an America West A320 model from MTS. Thanks for the code. It was my first flight out of Phoenix, and I can remember it like it was yesterday. How awesome is that? I need to look at that. I love my America West models and such. I'm going to have to look into that. Thank you, Christopher. Tim, the $2 super chat. Thanks so much, Tim. Tim says, a nice Saturday show. Holy moly. Well, I couldn't pass up the opportunity to get back here to Plane Spotter Paradise on a day that 24 Left was closed down. Thank you, Tim. Alvinor 0293 at the $5 super chat. Good to see Alvinor. Says, oh my, I remember that incident. Someone thought Kevin's lens looked like a rocket launcher. My goodness. Not only once, but like 6 times, if you guys remember. Oh, the early days. Early days. Bobby B with an awesome $50 super chat through our tip alert. Says, greeting from Budapest. Absolutely the best sound spot there is. Thanks for Paradise. You got it, Bobby. Have a great trip. Thanks for your awesome support. Somebody wants to repeat the holy moly. Southwest flights now heading over to forward right. First one is heading to Dallas Love Field. Southwest Airlines flight 3485, 737-700, followed by Southwest Airlines flight 2865, heading to Baltimore, Maryland on a 737 MAX 8. Next arrival is Delta Airlines flight 2828 coming up from Denver in an A319. Qantas Flight 11 coming in from Sydney, Australia, 31 minutes away. At first I thought it was heading to the south side. It looks like it's
We'll be ready.
now heading more than likely here to the north side. And by the way, I do have to do a battery swap here. I might as well do it now, right? Stand by. You're going to see black just for a second. The good old days of having to do a battery swap. Those were the early days of Airline at Videos Live as well. This is the one heading to Baltimore, Maryland.
24 right, let's take off. That's a 2865. Okay, it's tower, number 1487, big roll, 24 right. Number 1487, right, contact individual, no road, 737,
I think that was the last 24 right takeoff. I was wondering what that E-Jet was doing over there. All right, well, it was expected to reopen at 6. start to see that the 24 left is not as good of a, it's not as intense in terms of audio and whatnot from PlaneSpotters Paradise. We're a little farther away. Still got the arrivals happening on that 24 right. Of course, everything now taking off on the 24 left. I always hated the shot because 24 left is higher up than 24 right is higher up from this advantage point than the 24 left, so half the plane gets chopped off. That is a Delta 757. Well, I mean, the good news is now that 24 left is back open, I think we'll see more heavies head here to the north side, but they won't be in front of our face here on 24 right. Are you guys okay with 24 left? Like we have any say in it.
1487, traffic position, cross runway 24 left, and contact on 0.65. Cross 24 left, then 0.65, just left. 465, contact departure.
You have Qantas Flight 11 coming from Sydney, Australia, now just 17 minutes out, certainly heading here to the north side. Got a Delta flight coming in from Boston at 7:57 at 200, flight 1728, just 10 minutes out. A lot of heavy aircraft on its way in from Europe as well. Still waiting on the Emirates A380 Super, running about 30 minutes behind here today. Flight 215 coming in from Dubai, still 58 minutes away. Lined up there on the 24 left. Delta Airlines flight 1647 heading to Salt Lake City. It's an A321.
3102 tower, runway 24 left, line up and wait. Hi, wait 24 left, Southwest 300.
at a Delta 757-200. This flight heading to Edmonton, Canada. It's a sports charter flight 8847. I believe that's hockey NHL charter. Should stay here on the north side. Should be heading over to 24 left. Next arrival is that Delta 757-200, coming in from Boston, flight 1728, just 6 minutes out. K May asking how long is the show here today? Well, here I thought we were going to have 24 right up until about 6 o'clock. We'll keep on going as long as you guys are watching. We still have the awesome arrivals on 24 right. Oh, maybe it's not NHL, Gina. Is that a challenge? Well, I had a long list of things I had to get done here today. And so that list is just going to get longer now. That's all right. The main mission is to give you guys the best live streaming action here at LAX.
Clear for takeoff on half bell rate.
Runway 24 left, clear for takeoff.
I couldn't pass up the opportunity to come out here as 24 right was being used for both arrivals and departures. If you're just tuning in, it has gone back to normal flow here on the north side. Sports charter heading to Edmonton, Canada. It's a Delta 757-200.
Other 8847 on half bell rate, runway 24 left, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 24 left, on half bell rate, Delta 8847.
That was 36-32 kind of departure.
Departure stairway, 32, take care.
Well, we'll see if anybody's on this plane. Arrivals, which we will have here on the north side, including the A380 Supers. with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Watcast. It's June 14th, 1912 here in the good old USA. Corporal Vernon Burge became the U.S. Army's first enlisted pilot. Vernon Lee Berg, November 29th, 1888 to September 6th, 1971. I hope I got his last name right. SWAT Cats, thank you so much. Full of awesome aviation history. Ronald back with a $5 super chat. Good to see you, Ronald. This is Plane Spotters Paradise. An extra treat. How do you access the area? Love the 757 today. Stay safe and stay cool. You're the best at what you do. It's actually quite nice here today. It's not as warm as it was yesterday. I walked all the way here.
It's 180.
I walked all the way from the office. I was attracting a certain clientele of people on the sidewalks, asking me all kinds of questions. I have no answers. I must keep walking. Arrival here on the north side is Delta Connection, operated by SkyWest, flight 3694, coming in from Boise, Idaho. It's an E-175. Due the Qantas, flight 11, coming in from Sydney, Australia, the A380 Super, now just 6 minutes away. Like we're also getting Speedbird, British Airways at 283, coming in from London Heathrow on a 777 at 300 yards, just 6 minutes out. Also, Top Air Portugal, flight 247, coming in from Lisbon and an A330neo, just 22 minutes away. Maybe we'll get that on the north side. You never know. Right up next is that E-Jet.
It's 1484, like Charlie 2401, you'll make 24 right, so
Next arrival is American Airlines Flight 1484 coming up from Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, 737-800. Oh, looks like Speedbird heading to the south side as we do have Qantas Flight 11 heading here to the north side. Avianca heading to San Salvador. It's an A320neo Flight 523. Next takeoff here on the north side, 24 left. Also, Air Tahiti Nui Flight 7 coming up from Paris on a 787-9 Dreamliner, just 12 minutes away. Thanks you guys for tuning in here today for this pop-up stream. I've been telling you guys all day that earlier 24 left was closed down for some maintenance, which was having all aircraft taking off on 24 right as well as landing. And we haven't been out here to Planespotters Paradise in quite some time, so I thought, Kevin, load up the equipment, get out there. H Hotel that is directly behind the Avianca that you see there on your screen. That is the site of Camp Avial. 24-hour live stream starts on Friday. Rebecca, thank you so much. Rebecca Lynch saying is enjoying the show. Thank you. My pleasure, Rebecca. Glad you guys are enjoying it. We do have a Super A380 Super heading here to the north side. That will be the next arrival. Followed by Delta Airlines Flight 895 coming from Atlanta. A321. Should be followed by Air Tahiti Nui Flight 7. Still a little too far out to call tap at this point. I was telling you guys earlier that I used to spend so much time out here at Planespotters Paradise before I started the live portion of the channel As you guys all know, we started this channel with just 4K videos, and I used to come out here to Plane Spotter Paradise and grab as much video as I could. There used to be a direct shot of the theme building, and you see right there at the top of the theme building. There used to be just a clear shot. Terminal 1.5 that they built in the way. All right. First A380 arrival of the stream. Qantas Flight 11 coming from Sydney, Australia. Traffic below me here on that Lincoln. As I say that, now there's no traffic. Ah, the traffic's coming. All right, we are getting the air Tahiti Nui as a north side arrival. It looks like TAP is heading to the south side. Not a surprise. Birds are chirping here today. Number 2 for arrival here on the north side of runway 24 right. Make sure to hit that like button if you haven't yet here today. YouTube is freaked out that we're live here today. We're usually not live on a Saturday.
Helicopter 744, Tokyo, Austin, helicopter, Austin, South 2994. Clear to Broadway, safe northbound shoreline route, squawk 02. Right forward. Another 4 Tokyo, squawk 0236.
up next is that Air Tahiti Nui Dreamliner coming in from Paris.
Here's northbound altitude 200.
I'm still looking like it's heading to the south side, though at times it looks like it's heading up here to the north, but I think it is heading to the south. This is Air Tahiti Nui Dreamliner.
Up the winds with off hold position until you pass that traffic there. Also going to proceed along the shoreline.
Sharpie! Just flew right by me. Chirp, chirp. All right, Qantas Flight 11, the flight coming in from Sydney, now heading to the gates of Tom Bradley.
Airline 7 Heavy, hold short of runway 24 left again.
Southwest flight heading to San Jose, California. Southwest Airlines flight 1110 is 737-700. Tap definitely heading to the south side. Our next arrival here on the north side, United Express SkyWest flight 5552 coming in from SFO. It's another E-Jet. Delta Airlines flight 767 coming up from JFK is 767-400 just 9 minutes away. Also for Lot Polish Airlines flight 21 coming up from Warsaw on a 787-9 Dreamliner, 15 minutes away. Let's see if we get those on the north side.
Helicopter 1 Juliet Papa leading off on Bravo airspace. Array on the code. Contact Santa Monica Tower. Airspace to the north. Remain on your code. Advise Santa Monica Tower you have the traffic in sight. Contact Santa Monica Tower.
You know, Saturday is actually one of the slowest times here at LAX. Saturday and Tuesdays, two of the slowest days at LAX. Of course, it's a little bit busier on a Sunday. That's when we normally have our big Sunday show, which will be on for tomorrow, starting at 10 a.m. We'll be back on the south side at Clutters Park. Rudy will not be there with me tomorrow, as he is celebrating Father's Day with his dad. Having a big weekend. They They're already on Catalina Island. They took a boat over to the island, spending the day there, coming back. So, happy early Father's Day. Is another E-Chat Alaska Horizon Flight 2014 coming up from Vegas. Matthew with a super chat. Thank you so much, Matthew. Says, I'm still amazed by yesterday's landing of the Stearman, I keep on saying that wrong, the Stearman, which was a feat that I never expected to see. Wasn't that quite the landing? Glad we got to see that yesterday. What a highlight it certainly was. Not expected. Of course, that's what you get for plane spotting here at LAX. You never know what you're going to see. And Donna gifting 5 Airline Videos Live memberships. Thank you so much, Donna. Really appreciate you guys tuning in here today for this pop-up stream. I woke up this morning not expected to be out here giving you a live stream. But here we are. Doing that Delta 767-400ER coming up from JFK, flight 767, now just 4 minutes out. We'll be arriving here on the north side.
Southwest 3543 Los Angeles Tower, wind 230 at 13, runway 24 right, clear for land.
Emirates A380 Super still 31 minutes away. Singapore. Heading up here. I wish it was heading to 24 right. It will be heading to 24 left as 24 left is back open again for takeoffs. It's flight 11 heading back to Tokyo to Rita, and then we'll continue on to Singapore.
Heavy Los Angeles Tower, wind 230 at 13, runway 24 right, clear land. Point 606, Los Angeles Tower, advise ready.
We're ready, that's point 606.
So point 606 on us, go right, wind 230 at 13, runway 24 right, clear.
I have that
was in the direct opposite location from where we are today, high atop the H Hotel. Do that Delta 767 at 400 ER.
Winds 240 at 13.
Next arrival.
24 left, clear for takeoff. On up Delray, runway 24 left, clear for takeoff. Singapore 11 heavy.
Actually, might get 2 planes in one shot here. Next arrival is a heavy launch. Polish Airlines Flight 21 coming up from Warsaw, 787-9 Dreamliner. Yesterday we saw the Independence livery on the 787-9 Dreamliner for launch. It's also a KLM Dreamliner, Flight 603 coming up from Amsterdam, 787-10 Dreamliner, 10 minutes away. The Emirates A380 Super Flight 215 running about 35 minutes behind here today, 29 minutes away. Be followed by All Japan Airways in the Star Alliance livery, Flight 126 coming up from Tokyo Haneda. Yesterday we had the R2D2. Today the Star Alliance livery. Also Delta Airlines Flight 38 coming in from Shanghai. A350-900 just 37 minutes away. All those 3 aircraft I just listed, guaranteed north side arrivals.
Chopper 2522 up on the 1 minute, 3 wheels of time, runway 24 left, line up and wait.
24 left, line up and wait, focus 2522.
RFI Nerd with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much, RFI Nerds. It's great to see you coming back at Plane Spotter Paradise. Good to be back, RFI Nerd. Thank you. Polish Airlines, the next heavy arrival here on the north side.
Good afternoon, pick up the time, thank you, 111.
runway check. 24 right. That is a Delta 767-400ER flight that came in from JFK, now heading over to either Terminal 3 or 2.
Skywest 3902,
that turn in between Terminal 2 and 3. By the way, if you ever wanted to know where the Delta Lounge was, that is the outside. Can you see people up there? If your big screen TVs, I'm always jealous of you guys. You guys can always see everything. There should be a bunch of people there on the patio. That is where we, well, when we use Rudy's card, I can't get into the club unless I'm with Rudy. But every time, I have been in there twice, maybe 3 times, and we always sit on that patio and do a little plane spotting. Especially if you fly out in the morning, there's nothing better than having a little champagne and smelling the jet fuel.
This traffic is at 10 to 11 o'clock in a mile, says 1,000 and descending. Leaving 112 airspace, block VFR, free space 6.
I tried a new coffee blend this morning. Didn't like it. It was more expensive than I usually get Pete's grounded coffee, and this coffee, it was missing the oomph, if you know what I'm talking about. It didn't hit me like the Pete's coffee does. So now back to the drawing board. I think I'm just going to go back to Pete's. That was on my list of things to do today. Get different coffee for tomorrow. Have you ever had that? You bought it, you just, yeah, well, we'll try this new coffee blend. I'm sure since it's more expensive, it's probably better. No.
Cat 3902, hold short, of runway 24 left at Victor. Tower 6438, off on the tower, runway 24 left, line up and wait. 24 left, line up and wait, tower 6438.
It was kind of like, Jerry, if you're listening, that Randy's donut yesterday. Thank you for dropping that off, by the way. It didn't have the kick I thought I was going to have. I'm not a fan of Randy's. I just can't get into Randy's. Next arrival is another E-Jet, Alaska SkyWest, flight 3386, coming in from SFO. looks like all the heavy action heading to the south side. Though we do have the Emirates A380 Super just 17 minutes away, followed by the ANA Dreamliner in the Star Alliance livery.
Skywest 5438, one up Del Rey, wind 25012, gust 21.
Oh yeah, sidecar is really good. Danny, you're right. Sidecar here in LA.
Left 1315.
Those are really good. All right, another E-Jets next arrival here on the north side.
10, Papa, leading 112 airspace to the south, remain on the code, contact Papa on south.
Delta 767. That's the one that just came in from JFK.
6438, contact the question. Post Delta 3894 off from the tower. I got the photon coming up pretty soon. Advise if you can take any intersection. 336, software, people at the whiskey, then contact ground.
Next arrival is United Airlines Flight 348, coming up from Vancouver, a 737 at MAX 8.
We would have to send the new numbers for Skywest 3894.
Skywest 3894, hurry to the end, and runway 24 left.
Also, Alaska Airlines Flight 330, coming up from Portland, a 737 MAX 8, just 6 minutes out. Condor in the Green Island livery. Flight 2080 coming in from Frankfurt, the A330neo, just 27 minutes away. Lufthansa Flight 452, the A380 Super coming up from Munich, 33 minutes away. So we've got a couple of A380s on their way in. Pushing back this Delta 757 at 300 from Terminal 2.
Skywest 3894 on out Del Rey, wind 25014, runway 24 left, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, 24 left, on out Del Rey, Skywest 3894.
Hello, United 348, final 24 right. United 348, Los Angeles Tower, hello, wind 250 at 14, runway 24
hello,
right, clear to land.
From the tower.
Runway 24 right, United 348.
Always reminds me of that skit on SNL. Thanks, you guys. Thank you. I didn't bring any goodie bags with me here today. One less thing I had to carry. So if you want a goodie bag, don't come here today. You're gonna have to come tomorrow. We're seeing a lot of E-Jet action here today on the north side. That will soon change to A380 action.
3894, contact with departure. 3894, so.
It's Delta 757-300. This flight heading to Atlanta, Georgia, flight 715. I also have a WestJet flight 1697 heading back to Vancouver, a 737 to MAX 8. Should also be heading over to 24 left. Next arrival is that United flight coming up from Vancouver, a 737 MAX 8, flight 348. Uh-oh, somebody's getting pulled over. Maybe not. Why do you have your lights on? On this episode of Cops AVL. Well, hopefully they're not coming from me. Next arrival here on the north side, Alaska Airlines flight 330 committed from Portland, a 737 MAX 8. Emirates A380 Super now just 6 minutes out. Followed by the ANA Star Alliance livery flight 126 committed from Tokyo Haneda. 787-9 Dreamliner just 9 minutes away. And Delta Airlines flight 38 coming in from Shanghai. A350-900, 11 minutes out. And by the way, this is the bus. See that bus? This is the bus that takes you from Terminal 1.5 to the West Gates. If you're ever wondering what the bus looks like, it's a really nice bus with lots of windows. So it's a great place to go plane spotting on your way into the West Gates or coming back from the West Gates. So basically, it takes you to 1.5, which is right here, and you pull in just underneath that building. So that is 1.5 is that terminal. Which is an area that you check in a lot of the domestic flights that head to the West Gates, which is way over here, way over there. So let's say you're flying out at a Legion flight, but you're not checking in over there, you're checking in at 1.5 and taking that bus over there. A lot of people don't like it. The bus isn't that bad. Definitely better than walking from Tom Bradley all the way to the West Gates.
Remain east of the 110 freeway for Super 8 radio overhead.
that Delta 757-300 heading over to 24 left.
15, transport for off, runway 24 left, line of way. We're at runway, Delta 330 cross, runway 24 left, Victor, and then taxi via Echo, Papa, South Route.
Delta A321 Neo. Next arrival is Delta Airlines Flight 2766, coming up from Portland at an A319, followed by the Emirates A380 Super. Again, this flight heading to Atlanta, Georgia, Flight 715, with a 21-year-old 757-300, originally delivered to Northwest Airlines, doing a little turn and burning. Next arrival, 24 right.
7 Los Angeles Tower, runway 24 left, go line up and wait. 24 left, line up and wait, 715, Emirates A3 Mike 2 for Los Angeles Tower, wind 240 at 14, runway 24 right, clear to land. Runway 24 right, good today, Emirates A3 Mike, next week, 50 minutes.
Emirates A380 Super up next for arrival is WestJet's heading to, I think it was, did I say Vancouver? Vancouver, flight 1697. The Delta A321 Neo heading to La Hui. Officially 777 people, 777 watching here today. Quite a number. Thanks you guys for tuning in. All right, up next, the Emirates A380 Super. We'll let that flight to Vancouver continue down. Emirates Flight 215 coming up from Dubai. A380 arrive here many, many times. Nothing like being that close. Delta 767 finally heading into the gate. Next arrival is on the Pond Airways in the Star Alliance livery, flight 126, coming in from Tokyo Haneda to 787-9 Dreamliner, followed by that Delta A350. Also, British Airways Flight 281 coming in from London Heathrow, 777-300 just 17 minutes out. Also have the Lufthansa A380 Super just 19 minutes away. Condor is looking like it's heading to the south side. Allison, you're right. Oh, the sounds of the tires hitting. Ah, if you could smell the tire smoke from here. Not the best smell in the world. All right, up next, the Delta A350-900 coming in from Shanghai. have another round of heavy and supers on their way in. We'll see which ones go south and which ones go north. As we guarantee we'll have Lufthansa A380 coming in from Munich. Flight 452 will certainly be a 24 right arrival. Guys, you're just tuning in here today. This is a little pop-up stream here on the north side. You're watching Airline Videos Live. I'm Plane Jockey Kevin. Originally, we had work being performed on runway 24 left. So that means that all arrivals and departures were originally happening on 24 right. So I took the opportunity to come back out here to Plane Spotter Paradise, get the up-close action. That lasted, what, for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. And then we went back to having both runways back open here on the north side. So still getting the loud action. Arrivals on 24 right. Las Vegas, the 737-900ER, followed by Delta Airlines Flight 422 coming up from Honolulu, an A321neo. Yes, still Sunday show tomorrow starting at 10 a.m. Pacific. The big Sunday show still on. Kevin's just working a lot of overtime this week. Right, Chirpy? That's right. Will head south as well. Is the Lufthansa King now just 10 minutes out? Certainly would be our north side arrival. Also have Korean Air Flight 101 in the 747-8 Intercontinental coming in from Seoul, just 32 minutes away. Also Asiana Flight 204, the other A380 Super coming in from Seoul, 53 minutes away. That Delta A350 flight coming up from Shanghai, now heading more likely into one of the north side gates of Tom Bradley. Blackbird heading to the south, so our next arrival will be the Lufthansa King, flight 452. Hello, everyone joining. Terry M. Hello there in West Michigan.
Traffic 1 o'clock, 4 miles opposite direction, level 6,000, citation. Traffic,
we're kind of in the Holy Moly spot. Actually, Holy Moly was actually, I can show you real quick. Holy Moly, that day, we were actually farther down, not too, well, I want to say actually we were kind of farther down. We were about right.
Feeling broken. Flight level 250.
Somewhere over there.
29992.
So yeah, we were a little farther down. Dusseldorf with a $5 super chat. It's 5 days until Camp AVL. I'm bringing the SPF. Hey, by the way, good news. I remember yesterday I said it was going to be extremely hot. The forecast has dropped. No longer 88 in the 80s. Now dropped to the 70s. And each hour I look, it seems to be dropping even more. So we may be looking at low 70s as the high on Friday and Saturday of next week. So I think we're going to be in luck. Bring a jacket. And the SPF. Good to see you, Danny. Thank you so much. Also, one of our great mods, Gerard, gifting 1 Airline Videos Live membership. Thank you so much. And Otto with the super chance. Thank you, Kevin, for hearing my prayer. Close-up shots. Well, it's what we all love. If we can get the close-up shots and loud action, more power to us. We'll make it happen. Of course, we haven't been out here to PlaneSpotters Paradise in a while. Allison says she's bringing clothes for all 4 seasons. Yeah, pretty much. That's typical LA at this time of the year. In fact, let me see what the high is for next. Let's do Friday. It's now 75 is the high on Friday, 74 as the high on Saturday. 77 is the high on Thursday. It was in the 80s, so it keeps on dropping. I wouldn't be surprised if it keeps on dropping from 75. My guess is we'll probably hover around 71, 72. Briefly hit 75 if we ever do. That will be the hour when Kevin takes a break.
Denver 452 Super A, power wind 260 at 12, runway 248, clear to land. Negative.
All right, so the A380 Super up next for arrival. Johnny says, Kevin, I can't believe you're from Michigan. You get cold. I'm from Chicago. 40 degrees seems cold for me. Yeah, but Johnny, I haven't lived in Michigan. I haven't lived in the Midwest in many, many, many years. You got to remember, I moved to Phoenix, where it was extremely hot. And hold on a second. I'm seeing something moving in the bushes over there. It was hopping away. All right. And then I moved out here to Southern California, so my blood has thinned. So yeah, I get cold, I get hot. I'm normal. I forgot how slow Saturdays are here on the north side. All right, we got the Lufthansa A380 Super heading here to 24 right. I've stood in this exact location in July wearing gloves and a winter jacket. That's how cold this spot right here at Plane Spotter Paradise can get. In fact, I brought a jacket with me, and I'm close to putting it on. That's how weird it is. Like, you can go from extremely hot to extremely cold in no time. And that's because we're right next to the ocean, and the Pacific is pretty cold. This is the Lufthansa A380 Super coming up in Munich, flight 452.
Kilo 4126, wind 25012, NFL Ray, runway 24 left, first for takeoff. Sorry, 24 left, make those 4120.
We have the flight information on that Delta 737 taking off. The flight was heading to Vegas, the 737-800. Next arrival is Allegiant, flight 559, coming in from, look at this, Grand Rapids, Michigan, GRR A320. Did you hear that, Terrio? Next flight coming in from West Michigan. It's a flight we don't see every day. Of course, because Allegiant doesn't fly the same routes every day. And of course, we're never live on a Saturday, so we never see the Grand Rapids flight. We also have the Korean Air Flight 11 coming up from Seoul, the 747-8 Intercontinental, just 12 minutes out. Also have an American Airlines Flight 26 coming up from Tokyo Haneda, running about 2 hours behind. 787-8 Dreamliner, still 26 minutes away.
On a Delray, different lens, third takeoff, guys, 3631.
Traffic 2 miles to your north, numbers wearing altitude Cape 1100. 333. Super at Zulu, cross runway 24 left and contact ground point 65, thanks for help. 3634, contact SoCal departure.
That was the agent heading to San Jose, California. Delta Connection, SkyWest Flight 3634. Next arrival is the flight coming in from Grand Rapids, Michigan, a Legion Air Flight 559. It's an A320. Let us know, almost 1,000 likes. Thanks, you guys. Make sure to hit that like button if you haven't yet. This is an AVL pop-up stream. Bump! Up! So always have your notifications all set, because you never know when Kevin will pop up with a pop-up stream. Pop-up. Back for Sunday for the big Sunday show starting at 10 a.m. Pacific on Sunday tomorrow. To do another battery change here in the next few minutes. Our next arrival is Southwest Airlines Flight 3103 coming up from Sacramento, a 737-800. That Avianca flight heading to Guatemala City, Flight 641. What's that banging sound?
Skyline 3759. Skyline 3759.
Sounds like fireworks or gunshots.
59 LA Tower, runway 24 left, on its way for release.
Hopefully it's a little early July 4th celebration going on.
Skyline 5252 LA Tower, runway 240 on its way, runway 248 for the line.
Green Air Queen heads our way. So let me grab a battery here. Sorry, none of these batteries were completely fully charged because I didn't think I was going to be out here today. So stand by 1 second here. Stand by 1 second here. Doesn't seem to want to turn back on. Hopefully I didn't lose the whole stream. Stand by. Sorry about that. I thought we were back. Instead, we were in black. Sorry, I was trying on that Southwest flight. Here, I thought we were back on the screen. All right, good to go. Avianca lined up. Next arrival is United Express SkyWest Flight 5252 coming in from Fresno and an E-Jet. Should be followed by Korean Air Flight 11 coming in from Seoul and the 747-8 Intercontinental.
Skywas 3846, wind 25015, Arnett Delray, runway 24 left, cleared for takeoff.
Arnett Delray, clear for takeoff, 24 left.
All right, up next, another E-Jet.
Southwest 3103 at Victor, cross runway 24 left and contact down point 65.
Up next is the Queen. Awesome. Hawaiian Flight 10 coming in from Honolulu. The A33200 coming in 9 minutes from now, following the American Dreamliner coming in from Tokyo Haneda, Flight 26. The Big Q, Qatar Airways Flight 739 coming up from Doha. A350-1000 running almost 2 hours behind here today, 36 minutes away. Also, there is a Saudi Flight 41 coming up from Jeddah, 777-300ER, 31 minutes away. I don't know what happened to our sunshine. The great thing about the Panasonic camcorder is I can go from tight to extreme wide. This type of shot I can't give you with our Sony.
Heavy LA Tower, wind 24016, runway 24 right, clear to land.
You want to see the whole sky? All right, we'll give it to you. Got a lot of heavy action heading in here to the north side, including another A380 Super Asiana Flight 204. So don't go anywhere. Of course, we'll be back tomorrow for our main big Sunday show starting at 10 a.m. Pacific back there on the south side at Clutters Park. Rudy will be off tomorrow. There will be no Rudy. It'll just be me, your one plane jockey. Rudy will be off with his family, spending some time with his dad for Father's Day. So hopefully you guys join me tomorrow. I've been with you almost every single day. Thursday, Friday, now today, tomorrow. I'll be off on Monday. You're lucky to see me on Tuesday. And you'll definitely see me for 24 hours starting on Friday next week. It's really interesting. I'm noticing, and I'm sure Southwest has been doing this for quite some time, especially during the day. You know, they have Terminal 1 all to themselves. Now, the area that you're seeing there of Terminal 1, this used to be where US Air used to be. US Air, US Airways. And then Southwest took over all of Terminal 1. Well, now with the reconstruction of Terminal 5, they're going to be moving JetBlue over to Terminal 1. And more than likely, JetBlue will be over there on the east side since those gates are hardly ever used. All right, our next arrival is Green Air Flight 11 coming in from Seoul on the 747-8 Intercontinental. Just noticed that we have not had ATC. Have I not been paying attention? There it is.
Cross, runway 24 left, and contact ground point 65.
ETA heading back to Rome. It looks like it's heading up here to 24 left. Next arrival will be American Airlines Flight 26 coming in from Tokyo Haneda, 787-8 Dreamliner, running late here today. Originally scheduled arrival time was 1:50 p.m. Maybe ETA's heading to the south side. Scheduled arrival time now is 3:25. Should be followed by Hawaiian Flight 10 Coming in from Honolulu in the A330. So Ita, afraid of the north side here today. Don't be afraid, Ita. And by the way, don't bring the cheese stick back tomorrow either, Ita. So we hear both the 757 and the Delta 767 pushing back the 767 at 300 yard there in the alleyway. The 767 heading to JFK, flight 991 at 26-year-old 767 to 300 yard. The Delta 757 is an old TWA bird heading back to Boston, flight 437. Both those planes should be heading up here to the north side. Should be seeing the Lufthansa Queen lighting up here shortly. Next arrival is that delayed American Dreamliner, 787-8 Dreamliner, coming in from Tokyo Haneda, flight 26. Again, followed by Hawaiian Airlines flight 10, coming in from Honolulu in the A330. Still a little too early to call whether the big Q is heading here to the north side. Saudi also arriving, and a United flight coming in from London Heathrow, flight 935, which usually heads here to the north side. Going to the American Dreamliner. Next up, short final for runway 24 right. Delta flight heading to JFK, continuing his taxi down taxiway Echo here on the north side.
At the 2673 months at Whiskey or Yankee, cross runway 24 left and contact on 165.
Next arrival will be that Hawaiian A330. into one of those buses. See how close you can get to the planes? It's worth the ticket to fly out of the West Gates.
Delta 991 Heavy LA Tower, full length, runway 24 left, line of
Some of the best plane spotting you can do at LAX on that bus.
Air 2091 LA Tower, cautionary turbulence, heavy, Airbus 330 down a mile and a half.
All right, we're going to head to the Hawaiian A330. Next up for arrival, 24 right.
Runway 24 right, clear to land. Delta 991 Heavy LA Tower, runway 24 left, line of wing.
Buttery landing on that A330. My, oh my.
Some heavy trim left, enable and hold short of runway 24 left, departing traffic.
Allison let us know that we hit 1,000 likes. Thanks, you guys. Thank you, Bill A. Appreciate the nice comment.
Delta 991 Heavy, wind 24013, RMS Elray, runway 24 left, cleared for takeoff.
RMS Elray, 24 left, cleared for takeoff, Delta 993 Heavy.
Heavy at Victor Cross, runway 24 left and contact ground 165, that's the hold in position.
All right, we got that Delta 757 at 200, old TWA bird, heading back to Boston, heading over to 24 left.
24 have a good day, that's 991.
437 LA Tower, full length, runway 24 left on a Blake, tactical cross.
24 left, full length, line of Blake, Delta 437.
Have another E-check coming in from Medford, Oregon. The flight to Boston, line it up, 24 left. All right, the Lufthansa Queen now pushing back. Should be heading up here for north side and take off on the 24 left.
2091, hold short, runway 24 left. Delta 2198, LA County, 24 left, line of way. Line of way, 2198. Tower, cover 3812, visual 24 right. Got 3812, LA County, 240 out 15, runway 24 right for land. To the land, 24 right.
Look at the radar here real quick.
Sorry about that.
437, contact Hotel Park. Good day, Delta 437.
Delta Airlines Flight 2198 heading to Minneapolis. Lined up.
Delray, 24 left to the big up at 2198.
It's like the big Q heading to the south side as well as everything else. Saudi might be heading here to the north side.
636 LA Tower, 240 out 15, and a 24 right to land.
Delta Connection, SkyWest Flight 3812, coming up from Sacramento into E175, followed by Southwest Airlines Flight 636, coming in from Denver on a 737-700. Do have our next A380 Super arrival, Asiana Flight 204, just 20 minutes out. Looks like Saudi Flight 41 coming in from Jeddah on a 777-300ER, 15 minutes out. That is looking like a north side arrival.
Please 3, LA Coast Log 0276, quick center above airplane.
Somebody with a big boat. Uh-oh. Make sure that boat is secure. So next arrival is that flight coming in from Denver, 737-700, Southwest Airlines Flight 636. I thought for sure we would have got the big Q and that United Dreamliner here on the north side, both those heading to the south side. was talking earlier that I got my model that I purchased from MTS Aviation Models. I got the Continental 737-200 in-flight 1 in 200 scale, and it is a beautiful model. And you know what I will say? The one thing I like about the in-flight 1 in 200 smaller planes, we're talking about the 737, and who got me? There was a Chip got me the North Central MD DC-9 3040. That also came with a stand. They're nice stands that come with the in-flight models as compared to the Gemini jets, which gives you this stand, and the ones that I have, they just fall off the stand. It's like 3-prong metal piece that Gemini jets gives you, but the one from in-flight is an actual nice stand. Favorite model company out there is in-flight. I'm really impressed with the quality. I think I'm gonna have to get the Tulip. I'm gonna have to get the Tulip 737-200 in-flight. Maybe a 727. Gotta definitely get a couple 727s. Typical June gloom kind of day. A little bit of sun teases you, and then coastal eddy comes in. I mean, I can't tell you. And I have one of the first models I ever got was a Gemini Jets United in the new colors 737. I think it was an 800. I think that was the first one that they had their new updated livery on, and I got that. And I was going to originally have it as a prize for Airline videos. This is before the whole live broadcast stuff. And instead I kept it, and I have it, and it's on that 3-prong metal thing, and it falls over constantly. I also have a US Air DC-9, I think 20 or 10 from Gemini Jets. The same 3-prong little stand. It's just not good, Gemini Jets, if you're listening. In flight, definitely has got the right idea when it comes to the stand for those smaller planes. It's the same kind of stand, it's just a smaller stand. It's the same type of stand that they have for their bigger aircraft. Queen heading up here for a north side takeoff. We'll be taking off on 24 left. Don't get too excited. Won't be 24 right. It may never happen again. We may have caught the only time in the remainder of history of the Queen taking off on 24 right many times, including Yankee Tangy. Funny. Our current number of viewers right now is was 748. Now it's 754. We were literally at the exact same amount of viewers as this plane. 748. Again, this is flight 457 heading back to Frankfurt. Ita taking off there on the south side.
Kilo Romeo, LA Transport 0231. Clear to LA Bombers, stay Harbour Route South, maintain VFR at below 900. LA altimeter 2991.
Delta A321. It's the old LAX control tower behind the Queen there. Drawn one of our great mods back with the super chat says we are more likely in the cookie area. Yeah, you're right. We are. Watch out for cookie. Rob H with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Rob. This is Plane Spotter Paradise, 100%. Great to see and hear the perfect start to Father's Day weekend. Yes, happy Father's Day weekend. Thank you for your support. Yes, back here at Plane Spotters Paradise for a couple of hours here. K Me with a super chat. Thank you so much. Richard Flair. Richard Flair with the $20 super chat. Thanks so much, Richard. Says hello from Chicago O'Hare, Chicago Midway. Kevin, is this location near the In-N-Out on Lincoln Boulevard? Close. It's close, Richard. Yes, this is Lincoln Boulevard right in front of me, as you guys can see. In-N-Out Burger is way down there, way over there. But yeah, just down the street from the In-N-Out. A321 with Delta. There's a Delta 757 and an Aeromexico 737, all heading it to 24 left. Yeah, Kelvin, I got up the hill. I knew I could. It's going down. I don't want to break my left arm now. I'll be fine. I'll take it nice and slow. I went down the hill a few times. Obviously good stuff to bring back up the hill. But I didn't bring a lot of the heavy equipment with me here today. That's why I'm using the Panasonic camcorder here today, which I think is doing fairly decent. I didn't bring the Sony Beast with me today.
From the 457 heavy LA tower on a 24 left line of point. From the 457, land and wait on the 24 left.
Right up next, the Lufthansa Queen.
altitude 1, passenger greater 2, GG, maintain visual separation.
1 passenger greater GG, visual separation, 6.9.
Southwest 3769, speed 210 or greater.
Only drawback with takeoffs at 24 left from Plane Spotter's Paradise, at least this part of Plane Spotter Paradise, as you can see, 24 right is a little bit higher up elevation than the start of 24 left. So actually 24 right is blocking the landing gear of each plane. It's always been an argument with mine being here at this location for 24 left takeoffs. Real place to be is closer to the in and out burger. We'd have to go farther down, but unfortunately the hill gets even higher, which is really a trek up. So it's the price you pay for being here at this part of Plane Spotter Paradise, as the Queen is now rolling down at 24 left.
Roger, and there's numerous targets over downtown. Frequency change approved with no station. Runway 24 right, clear to land.
Chris Red, runway 24 right, action at 204.
Lufthansa 457 Heavy, contact close channel, close to
Our next arrival is Asiana Flight 204, the A380 Super coming in from Seoul. A Delta flight arriving coming in from Detroit, Michigan. Delta Airlines Flight 908, 737-900 ER.
Shoreline route south, maintain VFR out of 150 feet, LA altimeter 29901.
All right, looks like all those other heavies are heading to the south side, so I think we're going to end today's broadcast with the A380 Super with Asiana, and of course we'll be back with you tomorrow for the big Sunday show, which will start at 10 a.m. Pacific. I thought for sure that Saudi was heading here to the north side. It seems like all the heavy jets heading to the south side here today. I'm not quite sure if it had something to do with 24 left. Still technically was going to be closed down until 6 o'clock. So I don't know if everyone prepared for that early on. And that's the reason why everything went south here today. All right, up next, the Asiana A380 Super, our last arrival of this pop-up stream here today.
on a 204 Super. Are you able Yankee?
April, thank you, 18 Yankee, I should have 204.
You're on a 204 Super, Yankee, cross runway 2.
And a friend from Chicago.
Yankee, cross 24 left, I should have 2.
Linda.
He's on a 204
Vinsky.
Super, traffic in position, contact ground
The
on
$10 super chat. Thanks so much, Linda. All right, so that's going to do it for our pop-up stream here today. Thanks you guys for tuning in. And we'll see ya 10 a.m. Pacific for the big Sunday show. Back here at LAX, right here on Airline and Videos Live. Thanks you guys for your awesome support. Thanks mods for showing up. We'll see you guys tomorrow.